Let's look at how to add group sets and groups in your Canvas courses. Canvas has two types of groups, student groups and group sets. Student groups can be created by either the instructor or a student in the course and are self-organized by students. Group sets, on the other hand, are groups that you, as the instructor, create to use for graded assignments. In a group set, you can choose to manually or automatically create groups. Begin by selecting People in Course Navigation and then clicking on Add a Group Set. Give your group set a name. And since we're going to set up our groups manually for the first part of this video tutorial, we're going to skip the Select Self Signups. Make sure the radio button says I'll create groups manually before clicking on Save. So you can see across the top that we have 5 tabs here. The one we just created, Everyone, which has a list of all 48 students who are enrolled in this course for all sections, Midsummer Night's Dream, which has 4 groups, Argumentative Essay, which has 18, and Landscape with the Fall of Icarus, which has 12. But for this one, we're going to be working in Triangle Shirt Factory Fire group set. On the left, you will have a list, as you see here, of students who are enrolled in the course. Because right now we have just created the group set, we have not created groups. So within this course, I can set up the groups for both of my blocks. So I have a period 2 and 8 block and a period 5 and 6 block. So I only have to have one group set, but within that group I can have multiple groups. So I'm going to designate this as period 2, group 1, and click Save. And then I'm going to continue to repeat that process. Right now, I've created 2 groups. It has 0 students in here. And if I leave it open like this, I can add 3 to one group, 4 to another. Maybe I need a group of 5. If I want to set that so that I'm putting an equal number, I can go to Edit and then say I want 4 members. That's only for the first group. I would have to do that for each group. We'll expand these so that we can begin adding students. And you're going to simply use the drag and drop. So you're going to hold the left mouse button down and drag students into groups. Obviously, for a class of 48, I would have more groups, but I just wanted to show you how simple it is to add students to groups. Oh, and it will not let me add a 5th member because this group is currently full. However, let's say I decide that I would like this student to be in a different group. If I drag her name out and put it back in the unassigned student list, then I can switch it out for another student. Okay. You also have the ability to choose a group leader. Since we are setting this up manually, I would have to look at who I put in the group and click on the 3 dots and set this person as a leader. When you choose to set up group sets and groups automatically, you can have it either select the first person who self-selects into the group or a random student within that group. So now to begin with, I've added a new group set, Triangle Shirt Factory Fire, and within that, I've created 2 groups. I can continue with my other block of students by simply going here. Oops. Saying I want 4 members in that group and clicking Save. So now I have 2 groups created for my period 2-8 block, and I have started to create for my period 5-6 block. And I would just simply need to add students into that group. Okay. So let's now take a look at how we would add groups manually by creating another group set. We'll go with the Mayans. I'm going to allow them to self-sign up. I do want them to be in the same section for the first part of this group set because we're going to have face-to-face small group activities, and so I need them to be in the same class period. I'm going to tell it to create 6 groups, and I want 4 members in the group. I want it to automatically assign a group leader, but I want that to be random. And when I click Save, it now shows me that I created a group set called the Mayans, and within that group, I have 6 groups, and 4 students can join each group. A leader will be set randomly. One of the greatest features, I think, of using group sets and groups is that within Canvas, each group has its own homepage. So the Mayan Group 1 homepage would look like this. And all I simply did was click on the More Options and have it take me to that group homepage. This is a platform within Canvas for these students to create all their content, send out announcements to each other, hold discussions, conferences, collaborations, and create their content. It also allows me to go in and see how each group is progressing. So I see their homepage. Obviously, this is a new group set and a group task. So they haven't created anything yet, but everything's in one place. They don't have to email back and forth. They don't have to exchange or share documents through email. They can do everything they need to in their own personal course homepage. And if I click on collaborations, this is where they would start their collaboration with a Google Doc. And they have the autonomy over everything that goes into this home page, but we also have a record. So I can see that every student in this group is contributing, and if not, I can go in and sit down and talk with the students and find out what's going on. I can send them an announcement. I can see what they're discussing and how they are moving forward with the project. So I like having everything in one place because it keeps a nice platform with everything in one spot, and I don't have to look in multiple places for that. I do want to swing back to the group set. So I'm going to go back here. One thing I wanted to remind you of is you'll remember that I had the platform choose a person randomly to be the group leader. If that person is not there for multiple days or for some reason switches to another class period, I would have to manually go in and remove that person as a group leader and set that. So that is one thing you would have to be careful to look at when you're in there. Also, you'll notice that you can change the names and edit it, but when I created it, they were given the same group name as I had chosen for the group set. Okay. And also, I want to remind you that if you are going to use these for assignments, which is the purpose of that, you definitely want to have all the groups in place before you create that assignment, which we'll take a look at shortly. Okay, now that we have created a group set and we have added groups to that group set, let's take a look at how we would use that for an assignment. So in course navigation, click on Assignments, click on Add a new assignment, give it a name, and enter the directions for students. Set the point total. It's going to be classwork. Okay. It's going to be online submission. It's going to be a website URL. They're going to have one attempt. And this is where the group set and groups comes in. Under group assignment, I'm going to select that this is a group assignment. Another feature I like is that you can choose to assign grades to each student individually. And the reason I like that is not every student in every group will always contribute equally. So if you have some students who contribute in a much greater way and some who do not contribute or contribute very little, you can individually assign those grades. You don't have to give everyone the same points. So now I need to select my group category, which is the Triangle Shirt Factory Fire. I'm going to assign it to specific students in this course. So I want my Language Arts 2 and my Language Arts 7. Okay. I'm going to set a due date later because I'm not sure when it's going to be due, but then I'm going to click Save as I'm not ready to push this out to students. So by creating the group set and then the groups ahead of time, it was very easy for me to assign this to individual groups within that. Again, they'll be working in their own platform because they will each have their own homepage for the Triangle Shirt Factory Fire task.